Hello, Namaste. Welcome to Relish Delish. Today I'm going to be making a simple recipe, which is the apple muffins. Only difference being that instead of regular sugar, I would be using Canadian maple syrup in it and a little bit of brown sugar. Okay, I'll start off with the dry ingredients first. Basically, for this recipe, we'll need about, I'm using whole wheat flour as well as the white flour. So this is 1 cup of, I measured it. So 1 cup of the flour. I'm going to just sift it in here. And I've already mixed in 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda into this. So this goes into this. And I'm going to add in my 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Sift that together. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of, this is All Spice, and about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Now cinnamon goes very well with apples, so this is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. So I just quickly mix all the dry ingredients together, and then I'll show you how to do the wet ingredients. Okay, so I've already got my dry ingredients set aside here. So I'm just going to quickly pour in 1 beaten egg. Into that, I'll put about 1 cup of buttermilk. And beat it well. I have half a cup of brown sugar here. Just going to mix it well. Okay, then I have again half a cup of maple syrup. This is fresh Canadian maple syrup. Wonderful. For making muffins, you don't need to overbeat everything, all the ingredients together. Especially when you're mixing in your dry ingredients, it just needs to come together quickly. Otherwise, the gluten content will increase and your muffins will become hard. So, basic recipe of muffins: just put in together all your dry ingredients, mix up the wet ingredients. The detailed recipe can be found on my website, and then mix everything together. So finally, I'm going to add in about half a cup of butter, which is at room temperature. So everything is done here. Oh yeah, before I forget, I like to put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Everything has come together. Now what I'll do is I'll gently stir in my dry ingredients a little at a time. I don't want to over stir it, just until it comes together. my life easier. This is a very basic, simple recipe for making muffins. No hard work, which is fine by me too. Okay. I've already greased my muffin tins over here. I'm using muffin cups like this. If you don't have, you can just slightly grease the muffin tray. And I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And finally, I'll just fold in this is 2 cups of apples. So just to make sure, I've already about 2 cups of apple and a few. And my raisins. This is about half a cup of raisins. Just fold everything together. Some people like grating the apple and putting it in here. I like to just peel and dice the apples, core and then dice the apples. That way you get a little crunch of the apples and it tastes wonderful in the muffins. So this batter is almost ready. I'm going to spoon it into the muffin tray, which is kept aside here. And then as soon as the oven is preheated, I will bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes and until I'll insert a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, that means that the muffin is done. So see you later. Okay, so I have spooned the batter into about 12 muffin cups. So this is 12 of them. It came out exactly. And I'm just going to pop it into the oven, which has been preheating for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'll put the timer on for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm going to check whether it's done or not. And then see you later. Okay, the timer's just gone off. So I'm just going to check whether this is done or not. Pick it up here and insert a toothpick. So it still needs a little bit. If you can see, it's still sticking up a bit, not much, maybe just 1 more minute. That should do the trick. So I'm just going to pop it back for 1 more minute. The muffins are ready. I've left it out to cool on a wire rack here, and as you can see the apples and the raisins, and that's what I like, to look at those apples and muffins. If you had grated it, it would have gotten blended in the apples and you wouldn't be able to see the actual apple chunks. Now while this is getting cooled, what I'm going to do is quickly make a maple glaze. So I have here about 1/3 of a cup of confectioner's sugar. So I'm going to quickly put it into a bowl, and about 2 tablespoons, that is, of maple syrup. Since it's maple apple recipe, I thought why not use maple syrup for my glaze. So this is a simple glaze. This is optional. If you want, you can do that. And this is not a cupcake. Like you can see, it's just a muffin, but I just like putting a little bit of glaze. Some people like it that way. So this is 2 tablespoons of maple syrup for 1/3 cup of sugar. And just because it's apple syrup, I'm going to add in a little bit of red coloring, and you can use any color that you want. Just because it has apples in it, I thought why not. This is also optional. You may opt out of that. Just going to beat it quickly here. So that's my glaze getting done. As you can see, the sugar and the maple syrup, when you blend it together with the red food coloring, it becomes a nice hue of pink. So I'm going to place this on, but not right now. I'm going to put it over the apples and present to you after a while. See you then. So it takes only about a few minutes to put everything together, mix in all the dry and the wet ingredients, and then it was in the oven for about 15 to 16 minutes. And here, this is how it looks like.